much similar to the SHUTTLES, the VOLTRIC Lite 25i. Hello friends and welcome to my channel and to an exciting new video on badminton. But before we move ahead in the video, तो दोस्तों आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि आप लोग मेरे साथ बने रहे और आप लोगों के भरोसे और साथ की वजह से आज 8000 से ज़्यादा सब्सक्राइबर्स हो गए। एक छोटी सी फैमिली जो है यूट्यूब फैमिली हम लोगों की बन गई है। आप लोगों के सवाल, आप लोगों के कमेंट आते रहते हैं, उन्हें मैं जवाब देता रहता हूँ, आप लोगों की मदद करता रहता हूँ। तो ये साथ जो है हमेशा बनाए रखिए और आप लोग जितना ज़्यादा जुड़े रहेंगे उतना ही ज़्यादा और अच्छा और बेहतर कंटेंट मैं आप लोगों के लिए ला सकूँगा। और दूसरी बात यह है कि इंस्टाग्राम पे जो है अब आप लोगों को मेरी एक्टिविटी जो है थोड़ी बढ़ती हुई दिखेगी। कुछ ना कुछ अपडेट या अपकमिंग वीडियोज़ या पुराने वीडियोज़ कुछ भी ऐसा जो है वो मैं कुछ ना कुछ डालता रहूँगा। और दोस्तों उसी के साथ चैनल का नाम बदल गया है, पवन पुरीज पिट स्टॉप से अब चैनल का नाम हो गया पवन स्पोर्ट्स स्टॉप। जी हाँ, थोड़ा बदलाव लाया ताकि स्पोर्ट्स की तरफ झुकाव ज़्यादा लगे। तो अगर आप लोगों ने अपने लिंक्स जो है अपडेट नहीं किए तो लिंक्स अपडेट कीजिए और चेंज कीजिए। यहीं डिस्क्रिप्शन में आपको लिंक जो मिल जाएगा, नहीं तो आप चाहें तो आप मेरे चैनल के डिस्क्रिप्शन में या अबाउट में जाकर के भी देख सकते हैं। Well, I had recently reviewed the YONEX VOLTRIC Lite 25i, but there were a number of requests on reviewing the YONEX VOLTRIC Lite 20i. So here I am with the unboxing and the review of the racket, and as always the first section will be the unboxing and the manufacturer specs, and in the second section we will talk about the detailed and in-depth review of the racket. Well, that was the unboxing, and here we have the bag with us. The bag is very much similar to what you get on the budget and premium rackets from YONEX, which means 2 to 3 millimeters of cushioning on both the sides, which is pretty much enough to protect the racket from minor damages. So finally we have the racket with us, and let me show this to you. However, I'll show the racket closely in the video ahead. So let's move ahead in the video and see what the manufacturer has to say about the racket. And it says full graphite racket, 10 millimeter longer. It is developed by YONEX Japan and made in China. And the flexibility, as you see here, somewhere around mid flex. And the weight and the category of the racket is 5U G4, which means 75 to 79.9 grams without the strings and the basic grip. And G4 is the grip. Here you can also see the PPSI logo and the YONEX hologram. Here you can see the registration codes, which you can check on their website. However, I tried to find out, but there's nothing that is mentioned about the racket, if it is a head heavy or a head light racket. Well, the YONEX VOLTRIC series is the power series and provides power rackets from YONEX. And the players who opt for these rackets are attacking players or power users. Now, does this racket fall in the same category and has the same impact is something we are going to find out in this video. But before that, let's have a look at the key specifications of the racket. Well, the frame and shaft are made of high modulus graphite, and if we talk about the flexibility, YONEX say it is mid-flex, and I would completely agree with it. The weight of the racket is 78 grams plus minus 2 grams, and the racket belongs to the 5U G4 category. Well, the length of the racket is 675 millimeters plus minus 2 millimeters, and the string tension range is 20 to 30 lbs. Well, one of the most integral feature of a racket is its balance point, and in this case the balance point is 297 millimeters plus minus 3 millimeters towards the head, which means the racket is head heavy, and this racket is truly head heavy. Well, the racket is made in China, and as always I'll share the latest and the discounted links in the description section below. And if there's anything that you like about the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment and hit the bell icon. Well, the racket frame is isometric and aerobox frame and has a dynamic contouring. If you can see here, there is a small ledge, the upper half of the frame has been chipped off to make it lighter for that fast movement in the air, and the lower half of the racket is where the maximum weight of the head lies for those power smashes. Well, if we talk about the shaft, it is 7.1 millimeters, and as I've mentioned before, that 7.1, 7.2 millimeters, seems to be a sort of a benchmark for most of the companies for the slim shaft rackets, not only Yonex. And the benefit of this slim shaft is that you get more speed in the air. The racket movement becomes faster, and on the other hand, it does not compromise the durability of the shaft. Well, talking about the weight, not to forget, in the images it shows 87 grams, but also see that the weight of the string is around 5 or 6 grams. So if we take off the strings with the basic grip here, it should be around 81 grams. So technically the racket is in the 4U category, which means it is very much similar to the RACKETS Lite 27i, which is also 86-87 grams. However, the VOLTRIC Lite 25i is just about 84 grams. And if that is the case, the racket actually ideally falls into that 4U category, which is the most exciting and the professional category. Now, talking about the balance of the racket, clearly indicative when you swing it like this, hold it right from the bottom of the butt, you can clearly feel that there's a weight on the head, and the racket is a head heavy racket. And also after the balance test, we found that the racket is a head heavy racket. So if we talk about the racket as an entire package, see, it's a head heavy racket with the balance point being 297 millimeters towards the head, a truly head heavy racket, and very close to that 300 millimeter mark. Then the length of the racket is 675 millimeters. The longer the racket, the better the lever system, and the more the power you can generate into your smashes. And if we talk about the shaft, it's a slim shaft for that fast movement in the air, and a mid flex shaft which adds on to the accuracy of your smashes. Now, comparing it with the 25i Lite, the only thing that I feel here is that it is 3 grams heavier, which actually makes the racket enter into that 4U category and elevates the entire performance of the racket. Now, talking about the performance of the racket, see, I've already mentioned the kind of package this racket has to offer. So this racket stands somewhere between the 25i, the VOLTRIC 25i, and the RACKETS Lite 27i. So it's somewhere above the 25i and somewhere just a little lower than the 27i, because the reason is the balance point of the 27i is around 301 millimeters, whereas this one has a 297 millimeters. So that is something we have to compare. But then we cannot forget that this is a VOLTRIC which offers sheer power. Continuing with the performance of the racket, see, ideally the racket falls in the 4U category, but still the racket is lighter. So the game around the net and the middle court is exceptional. The tosses, the drops, just small little pushes is exceptional. But when we talk about the third line clear, I felt it was very close. It is very close to that RACKETS Lite 27i, and it does its job decently. So talking about the sort of players who should opt for this racket, see, the kind of package I've already explained ideally falls in the 4U category. So if you are a singles player or a doubles player, attacking player, or or a defensive player, this racket suits all. And as this is an intermediate racket, so even for an average player, average intermediate player, this racket would be just about right. Well, if we talk about the strings and the string tension, presently the string we have, which is around 0.8 millimeters, this is not more than 22 or 23 lbs, so you'll definitely have to put on a new one. So you can try out any mid-range strings of 0.69 or 0.7 millimeters from Yonex, li-ning, etc. So after getting my hands onto this racket, this is how the final verdict and graph looks, where power is 8.1, performance is also 8.1, third line clear is 8, control is 8.4, and durability is 8.1. So friends, that was my experience with the racket, and I'm sure you have your own. So share that in the comment section and on my Instagram. And until then, stay safe, stay healthy, watch healthy videos, stay away from corona, and have a great day.